Hi there, this is Neil Kilby.
And Peter Schmitz from sunny Florida.
Again.
Again, yeah.
Still.
So
we're further extension to our few videos that we've done on customer lifetime value. Today we're talking specifically about retention. Now, retention for me is the most single important bit that we do as business owners. The hardest thing to do is to get a customer to believe in us enough to pay us some money to start a relationship with us.
Okay. Okay. So what's your definition then of retention, just to set the tone here?
Well, I would like to say that all of my customers will be using me unless there's a damn good reason not to be.
Okay, that's not a definition.
Well,
what's the definition of customer retention?
Well, it's to keep clients coming back to you for your goods or services because you have serviced them and looked after them better than anybody else has done.
Okay, you've added something to it, but basically retention is how long you keep a customer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
in simple terms, it's a measurement for a small business owner of how long you keep a customer. And obviously, Neil, the longer I keep the customer, assuming the customer's paying, the better it is for my business. And I've obviously satisfied the customer if he keeps paying me over a long period of time. And retention is strictly a number of how long, on average, customers stay.
Right. Your great bit about paying, just to remind everybody, they're not a customer until they've paid.
Well, that's true. Okay, that's an assumption. They're a prospect until they've paid.
No, they've taken your goods and services up until the point that they paid you.
So what's the best retention strategy? What's my best as a small business owner or a medium-sized business owner, because that's who we're talking to.
Yeah.
What's my best strategy for improving retention?
Without a shadow of a doubt, it is about customer service, looking after that person how they want to be looked after.
Exactly. And it goes back to treating people the way you want to be treated, and many people would say the customer's always right, even when they're wrong.
Well, I think sometimes the customer needs to be educated.
Well, that's true, but we're talking at a philosophical level here in terms of retention strategy and keeping it, because if I want to keep a customer happy, even if they're wrong, obviously there's times when you need to fire a customer.
Oh, right? Absolutely.
Without a shadow, when a customer is not good, and I just had one recently that I'm better off without them, and so.
Yeah, they have to appreciate you, and you have to appreciate them. As you say, it's a mutual thing that's going on there. Yeah. But in terms of customer service, it is so much that somebody has been looking around for somebody to find who will look after them, provide the products and services that they want. They've found you, okay? You've done the first step of enticing them in and saying, look, I can do this for you, and they've given you money, okay? After that, they don't want to go away looking for somebody else. Why would they want to go for somebody else if you provided the right goods and services with a great customer service? Why would they go anywhere else?
They wouldn't. And the trick is to not give them any reason to go somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
that's why I bring up. That's why I say customer service.
I've got a button here. I've got a button.
Yeah, we are. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Okay. So if we look at it in our own personal lives, we tend to go to the same restaurants. We tend to buy the same brand of clothes or whatever. We tend to go to the same supermarket because they fulfill all of our needs without irritating us.
Right.
Okay.
Well put.
If as soon as you start, a lot of people get so focused on acquiring new customers, okay, they stop doing the very things that will stop the customers that came to them from retaining them.
Yeah, and if you do, the cost of keeping a customer is way less than the cost of acquiring a customer.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And retention will have a much more significant effect on profitability than customer acquisition ever will. So this is a valuable lesson for many business owners because they don't stop to think about keeping the customers they have.
Yeah, it is. I like to look at it. It's like the difference between renting a house and buying a house. You know, you will own those customers. You've got an asset, okay, if you look after them. If
Yeah.
you don't look
Yeah.
after them, you've got to go out and you've got to do the same process over and over again. And we know
Yeah,
how
I love a restaurant owner that will give you a free, you know, dessert or a free appetizer every once in a while, just enough, not so you expect it, but just so when you least expect it, he or she does a favor
absolutely. You
for
don't
you.
want to make it just about money.
Right,
You
right,
want to make it about being looked after.
right. And I don't want it to be just on my birthday, right? I don't want it. It's so interesting how owners won't do that. And the cost of a dessert, if somebody that's spending, you know, $50 to $100 for dinner, to give them a dessert that costs you $2 to make is nothing.
Well, I may be a little bit vain, but a restaurant owner only has to remember my name the next time I go back. And oh, it's
Well, there
nice.
you go. That's even better. Yeah, names. Who doesn't want to be remembered by their name?
Yeah. And oh, did you want this table or whatever? It doesn't really matter. It's just being looked after. And as you say, the cost is so little, but there is still a thought process that people forget. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that we don't put it high enough up the agenda to make sure that it's done properly when we're so obsessed about getting a new customer.
There we go. So we could talk about retention forever because there's so many different ways and simple ways, like you just said, remembering your name to you improve our retention numbers. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think it absolutely is. And it creates the asset. It stops you having to go out and get a new customer every time when you've got somebody who's already broken the ice and wants to be looked after by someone. And that could be you if you thought about it.
What's my name?
Who?
Yeah.
I've never met you before.
Oh, all right. So that's we've yeah, we could talk about retention for quite a while, but I think we've summarized it well.
I think the important bits are there. Peter, thank you very much as usual. And I will catch up with you and I'd like to thank the audience. Hopefully you're enjoying all of this and find it useful. If you do, just get in contact. We'll happily spend a few moments with you to try and see whether or not we can help you. Okay. Thank you for your time. Cheers.
Thank you.